Hello, in this video we're going to discuss which graphics chip on a computer Visual Components is going to use. Now here I have a workstation laptop that's running Windows 11, and to start with I can check which graphics chips do I actually have here. So if I right click on my start icon and go to Device Manager, and if I expand Display Adapters, I can see that I have the integrated Intel Iris graphics available, and I also have a separate discrete GPU from NVIDIA. And using Windows I can specify which of these graphics chips Visual Components is going to use. And then, as an additional option before we start, I'm going to go to the search menu, search bar in Windows 11, and search for NVIDIA. And I'll launch the NVIDIA control panel. And then in the NVIDIA control panel, from the desktop menu, I will enable display GPU activity. And what that will do is it will add an icon here in my taskbar. And if I click that icon, it will launch a panel that will show me which application is currently using my NVIDIA GPU. So now we're ready to specify which graphics processor, graphics chip, Visual Components is going to use. So I'll right click here on my desktop and choose Display Settings. And then I'll scroll down and select Graphics. And since I don't already have my Visual Components application available here, I'll click on Browse to locate my Visual Components installation. And then I'll select my Visual Components engine.exe file and then click Add. And then I'll select Options, and I'm going to choose the High Performance option for my NVIDIA GPU and then click Save. And then I'm going to minimize this panel, I'll keep it open, and I'm going to launch my Visual Components application. And then with my Visual Components application running, let's check the GPU activity monitor for NVIDIA. And you can see here that the Visual Components application is currently using my NVIDIA GPU. So now let's close the Visual Components application and return to our settings panel and go back to Options, and then instead select Power Saving Intel Iris Graphics and then click Save. And then we'll minimize this panel and repeat the process by running Visual Components again. And now with Visual Components running again, let's check the NVIDIA GPU activity monitor. And you can see here that Visual Components is no longer using my NVIDIA GPU. It's using, as we specified, the integrated Intel Iris graphics. And then of course, to switch it back, I would repeat the process, go back to my graphic settings, click on Options, click on High Performance for NVIDIA GPU, click Save, run the application again, and then with Visual Components running again, if we check the NVIDIA GPU activity monitor once more, we can see that the Visual Components application is using our NVIDIA GPU.